Hello, hi, welcome to the Glamourous Legends of Calgary, also known as GLOC. We are doing a Drag Race Season 12 recap show. It's a chat show. We've got an online chat participants here in Zoom. I am Karla Marx, one of the amazing hosts. I am joined, as always, by my stalwart companion, Vanta Blaque. Hello, Vanta, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. Testing out the new wig.
It looks gorgeous.
Living.
Yeah, you're ready for the workroom. And we are joined tonight by our very special guest. We are very excited to have this person who has all the inside tea about Drag Race, Farrah Nuff.
Hi!
Hello, you look beautiful.
Oh, stop. I look like a cross-eyed cow.
Okay, sure.
A little less angle next time. I just tried something new.
It looks great. Are you wearing amped?
I am wearing amped accessories.
Wow, and where would someone find amped accessories?
At our Instagram at amped accessories.
Our
website should be up actually in the next couple of weeks, which is really exciting. Our website should be getting up and running. All the products, pictures are taken, ready to get uploaded. So that's ampedaccessories.ca.
And those look like ready to go on Drag Race.
Well, they've been, well, not these ones, but like we've done it a few times now.
Just a few times. The novelty's worn off.
Guys, like they're just people. They're people too. On a show that we all idolize and we gather on a Zoom meeting to talk about.
Absolutely, and we are really excited that we are once again sponsored. We have promotional considerations for Bar Patricia and Infinity Ultra Lounge, that they are providing a prize pack to one special guest. We will be giving away one free menu item and 20% off your total bill. Bar Patricia is open for pickup, and I believe they still do delivery if you call them directly. So please support them. They are a stalwart of the queer community here in Calgary, and they are out there hustling. So get yourself a tasty snack.
And the food is boss.
Their food is amazing. It's really, really good, and it's a good value.
So good. That poutine.
I think about it often.
The buffalo chicken poutine is all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get into it. Workroom action. Okay, so we start off in the workroom. Jan has made her tearful goodbye from last week. Yeah. Winner doesn't really seem to be bothered by it, but the rest of the queens remember Jan fondly. What do we think? Do you think it's sincere?
Could she have erased it any faster? Or was that just the edit?
She got that. Well, I feel like she did take that down pretty quick. She's like, I'm out. I mean, Widow is well practiced at removing workroom lipstick messages by this point, so she's got her technique down.
She is a master.
Circular motions.
Yeah, she was just like one more, escape away from being that girl who's like, if I just have to lip sync my way to the finale, I'm going to do it. And it's like,
that's what she said it?
She did not say it. It is the kiss of death, but she did use many of the like,
well, she did say it kind of later in this episode when she was like, I wear those shoes so that I'm prepared to, right? But we'll get...
Yeah.
The dancing mentality. We'll get to the workroom walk around. Okay, Gigi was accused of cockiness, which she is borderline on that line, I would say. But also, like, she's won the most challenges and the judges love her.
I don't know.
She's had one stumble, so...
She's wildly talented.
All I wrote for like the first beginning of the show was "Shut up, Gigi."
Wow, and Anxiety agrees with you. Anxiety in the comments there saying she sucked tonight. The look was good, but yeah, we'll get to that debate. I felt like the debate was messy all along. We'll get to it.
Oof.
Okay, so also Heidi hydrates. They really pushed that. They like even did like a chyron going across the little stripe that goes across with the names, and they changed her from Heidi and cleanses to Heidi hydrates. But I mean, I was on the feed with Priyanka Love out of Toronto, and Heidi in Closets was listed as the guest, and that's how she introduced herself. So maybe that was the edit, but she currently is still Heidi in Closets.
I was like, I'm gonna get on the Insta right now, see if like post the episode airing everywhere that she's changed it. Let's keep an eye on this for like the next 2 to 3 days. I have a feeling we might see a shift, if not by the finale.
Maybe World of Wonder twists some gears.
Interesting.
We have launched an official GLOC investigation. It is spearheaded by Farrah Nuff. She will keep us updated as the situation progresses. J-Rock, which I think is Duke Carson hasn't changed his name back from standing. Not her best episode for sure. Still hiding in closet. Okay. And Stephanie Hodges agrees with you, Farrah. Okay.
Shut up. Stop talking.
Rue walks in, looking boy. Looked good. No stupid hat this week. I like that.
One thing that we missed, we heard Sherry talk, and not only talk, but like strategically. This is the first time that we've had like a conversation from her that wasn't a triggering of another conversation. This was a feature on her, and it made her look very dark.
They featured her a lot in this episode, more than in previous ones. Like definitely the last episode, she had a little more like pop-ups, but this one she was presented as a part of the show.
It was the most Sherry we've seen.
Yeah.
I feel like tonight we saw more Sherry than we have all season. And it seems almost petty, where it's like, if you're going to delete her, just delete her. But you're like, well, we're going to delete her, but anything that we said that was critical, we're going to put that back in. So you know that we didn't like her. It's like, you didn't fucking know. You didn't know.
Are they painting an image of the devil over the Virgin Mary? Because originally, like, she was predicted, and like the Reddit is crazy with her making it really far and being loved by the judges.
Yeah, because every once in a while it comes out and they're like, well, this isn't your usual standard. It's like, well, you didn't show that standard before. Okay, fair. All right. Well, it is interesting. We do see a lot more of her this time. I don't get it. So Rue goes into the mini challenge. It's Kitty Girl 2020. The sponsors are getting
bizarre.
The connection to Drag Race is getting thin, where it's like, what's next? Like Miracle Grow? You know, like
it is getting a little off-brand, like.
Yeah, it's like you've got a really straight marketing department that's like, monetize. I am happy though that that the girls are getting paid, you know, that is not one winner gets all the money. You go on Drag Race, make it second, you get nothing, you know, like I'm happy that workroom performance throughout the show, like that some money's finding its way to the dolls.
We're distributing the wealth.
Sorry?
Distributing the wealth a little bit.
Yeah, something.
But there is a lot more money on the line now, because like when you win the top, you win money now on the top. Like it's an all-star game. So like they wanted to up the game, which means they had to up the sponsorship. Yeah,
it does. From other podcasts, from other, you know, recap shows, particularly Race Chaser podcast with Alaska and Willem, it does seem like there's a lot more sponsors behind the scenes. Like, you know, they talk about how World of Wonder has approached other sponsors in the past.
Yeah.
And it's apparently quite heavy-handed and aggressive, where it's like, you've got to give, if you want to mention on the show, you need to give us 10 grand.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then that money was just being pocketed by World of Wonder. It didn't go to anybody else.
Oh yeah. When you do a sponsorship with RuPaul's Drag Race, they demand money. Plus you have to provide the product. Plus they expect like other things. Like, for example, there's a potential that like someone could do something for a show, and then they're like, hey, can you also send us like 25 sets on top of the money, on top of this, on top of that? And then like sometimes that's a deal breaker. Like,
yeah, that there's extra things that aren't being put on the show, like you're paying to advertise on the show.
Well, and they're the things that go like on like the feature fabric wall, right? Like, oh, and like every once in a while they'll be like, and you can use these jewels from that company that I won't name. So, I mean, like I won't talk about the company that's the current sponsor because I hate them.
Okay. You can do the work on that. When we're talking about the mini challenge here, Anxiety says, highlighted the episode, TBH. And hopefully Jackie can use that money to learn how to do her makeup. Wow. There were a lot of attacks on Jackie's makeup. I'll give her a pass on the mini challenge one. Like, it was pretty beardy, but it wasn't a good night for Jackie. It had to be said. I
did enjoy Jada on somehow they had this giant cat scratching pole, which seemed like quite the prop. But I love Jada just sort of using it as a pole, just sliding down.
Yeah, it was. I said Jada still made it hot. Everyone else kind of went quirky with it, and Jada was like, I am still serving pussy, and she did. I don't think she can ever not be hot.
True.
Ooh, Jada.
Widow looked unsettling in like a skin coat thing. I thought Heidi was oddbally. Was that Vanta, or are you glitched? We've lost Vanta.
Oh no. Oh, almost. Oh, almost.
Oh
There. Oh.
no. No.
Anything you can do to increase the bandwidth there, Vanta?
My best on this end. One moment.
Well, we might just lose you for a minute here if you pop in and out. Yeah, Crystal was pretty great. I like Crystal.
Those were totally meant to be main stage outfits.
That's exactly what, when I saw Gigi, I was like, no way she brought that for a mini challenge.
Even Heidi's, or like how all of their ears were so perfectly placed in those wigs.
Mm-hmm.
Those were not. Those were like, they were either planned for an acting challenge or they were planned for the main stage. They were not planned for a mini challenge.
Chris H, is that Chris Hewitt?
Maybe. That was my first thought.
Chris, is that Chris Hewitt from Dickens Pub?
Chris!
Home of GLOC Dickens Pub, Chris Hewitt, possibly. Yeah, Gigi's was main stage plan. Absolutely. They were way too done up to be like.
And that was not 20-minute drag.
No, it's not. And it wasn't last week either. And it's kind of like do it. I don't get this. Just do a quick drag. Have them. Oh, Hang the DJ live stream tonight. Oh, after the show, go check out Hang the DJ live stream. I absolutely love Hang the DJ. I will be headed over there. So yeah, rat. Any other thoughts about the mini challenge? Jackie Cox is the winner. I thought she earned it.
She was the funniest. Like, totally oblivious, out there, crazy, wild, but every joke landed, and it was like.
Yeah, she came strong, and it was a good challenge for her. I'm glad she won some money before what happens. Main challenge prep time. It's election time. There's a little bit of chatter before Ru enters. Heidi has no idea what politics are. And Jada and Elda Barge sitting down and trying to like, what are words that politics use? Made me cringe. Like, I was dry as the Sahara Desert. That was.
But the best part is that she suggested that they just throw in these words, but then didn't know what the words were.
Yeah, it's like, what about the word debate? What about? Oh, it was bad. It was rough. It was really rough. Raven enters the room. I thought she looked amazing.
I loved it.
Oh my god! And also, Crystal.
Raven.
Crystal should have taken a fucking note. That's how you wear blue hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a good bloom.
And those hip pads and that little strip, that was
a
graphic. It was an event. She could have flossed her teeth.
All the teeth.
Oh, it's just Chris H. Well, hi Chris. We still like you. That's great. You're still
Well,
very
anyway.
welcome. We got really excited. We're like, Chris H. She was flossing something. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Raven and Ru work the room. They go around. Raven, I thought they brought, last week, honest to God, I thought they were bringing Raven in to like give them the goods. And it turns out they brought Raven in to soften Ru because she had the bitch dialed up to 11. Like she'd like put out a few crumbs and people would be like, okay. And then Ru's like, well, why would you do that? That's a terrible idea.
She's not caring about anyone's emotions this time.
Factually incorrect. She wants to bone Heidi in closet so bad.
I think that she wants to like the walkthrough today was so horribly scripted and planned.
Yeah.
And even edited. Like they gave Heidi and they gave
Heidi got such a soft edit.
And like everything was like, try this, do that. Sure, you can steal this. Sure, you can steal that. Right?
They're just straight giving answers.
And then they went to someone else and they're like, well, that was a stupid idea. Why would you even think that?
Yeah. Like, that's too obvious. And they were like, use the obvious one, Heidi. It kind of felt like a Shangela apology, like they're fast tracking her for something. I don't get it. I think Heidi is an amazing talent. I think she's going to do really well in All Stars. This isn't her time.
She's charismatic as fuck, though.
Absolutely. No one denies that, but her craft is not there. She isn't polished enough. She hasn't done drag enough. Like, she's got muscles, but they're just not defined enough. You know what I mean? Like, as a drag queen, like, when she's just a character, when she's just a personality, she's great, but I want to see her, like, really kill it as a drag queen, not just someone who's entertaining to watch do anything. Like, I'm almost as entertained with her out of drag as I am in drag, and that's a problem.
Fair. She's not crisp enough in the drag.
Why is that a problem? But see, that's how I feel about Jada, is like, I feel like Jada has no charisma. She's just pretty and sexy.
She is pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair critique. Jada is not as charismatic, but I think that's the difference. But, like, that's what Heidi has, right? And Jada has preparation, she has professionalism, she has a look, an aesthetic, and execution. And, like, that's the debate, right? Like, what do you know, some people are going to connect and say, I just love that character, and you're going to vote Team Heidi. Stephanie is saying, Jada's so boring to me, I don't understand the hype. And James says, Jada could walk all over me any day. And
all she can do is walk. She can't talk. She can just walk.
She can talk.
How
dare you? Did you not see the Madonna one where she's just wearing the underwear during the actual musical?
Oh, I meant, like, she can't conversate with people because she's like,
it's a little
pretty and she's sexy. That's all Jada's got.
Yeah, but I think that she's going to be a very good, like, she will be a good drag queen who shows up to the club, and she's got 3 scripted, you know, she's going to be on the cowboy stage, and she's going to be like, hey, Calgary, joke. And then she's off, you know, we love you, blah, blah, blah. And she's going to be, you know.
I was thinking
the impersonation of Sherry as Katharine Hepburn was on point, though. Yeah, I really hated Sherry's impersonation of Katharine Hepburn. I found it really disrespectful to people who suffer from a disease that they have no control over. And I was completely repulsed that they put it on. I was really upset. It was ableist to the max, and I was really, really deeply upset about it. And then to see them go back to the well, and I'm not the only one, like the Parkinson's Society of America was livid. There were mental health advocates, there were disability. I was really disappointed to see it go on again when they got the feedback from Snatch Game, and then they were just like, seems fun to make fun of people with disabilities. I was like, great, you're pieces of shit. This was really, it's low-hanging fruit.
No, is that it's done by a person that is a piece of shit. Allison Mosi is a piece of shit.
Straight goods.
So it continues the narrative of Sherry Pie is evil.
I do.
I could see the reason that they left it in is that Sherry's gonna eat it.
But they didn't need to re-show it this episode. They didn't need to emphasize it, especially after Crystal sharing the story of her father suffering from, like, a very quick acting Parkinson's. Like,
well, yeah, and so, like, they referenced it again in her character in the debate. Then they had Jada make fun of it. Then they showed the Sherry flashback to Snatch Game, and then they brought it up again in Judges. It was like,
it was odd. I think it was an inappropriate choice. I don't think it paints her as it doesn't contribute to the, I guess, potential for a villain edit. It just shows ignorance in a lot of different parties.
Let's recap. Let's finish off the Rue and Raven walk around. I vote Raven. I think Raven should win season 12. She looked great. She was funny.
You're going out to be America's next drag superstar.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's like.
I know. That was the best. I loved it. Like, just throwing shade in front of Rue.
Do you think that she, like, told Rue? I'm going to say this.
No. The first one that got Rue laughing with the gap, I don't think she told Rue either of those. Like, you could see in some cuts, like, that was Rue actually laughing.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I love Raven.
It.
Raven's a god. That's literally written in my notes. Raven is a god.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought that I was going to try and do, like, a makeup like hers and eyeliner, and then immediately I was just like, uh-oh, this is not what I thought this was going to look like. But
I always pretend like my lips look like Raven's.
Yeah. Oh, her lip. I don't even try her lip. I've been playing with like the fade on the brows because I've been really trying to perfect this like soft face that I've been working on.
I've been enjoying it.
Thank
The
you.
brows are a success. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Hate
fun.
eyebrows.
I
What's
don't
that?
like eyebrows, but if I'm gonna look at eyebrows, I would like them to either be blinding or beautifully soft.
Oh, well, there we go. We got all the A's and B's covered. Okay. So we move straight into Rue's runway look. Is the next thing that we go to.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, James. And I have to say that I hated it. I hated Rue's runway look.
No,
I can admire the craftsmanship. I thought that the idea was good. It just didn't come together. The gown looked cheap. The hair looked like an afterthought. I get, like, when Goldblum, when Jeff Goldblum was kind of like, you're a Greek goddess, I was like, yeah, okay.
this was being nice.
Yeah, it just didn't work for me. I did love what Raven did on her eye makeup. That's really fucking hard to do, that makeup. And it was just so good. RuPaul's eyebrows have been MIA for a long time, but basically,
They're just so soft. Okay, first of all, I'm on the opposite. I love Rue's look. I love the simplicity of it. I love how flowy it was. I love the hair color. Like,
I didn't like the colors mostly. Like the shade, like, I mean, all of it was bad, but the colors especially really stood out.
I just think it was lit wrong.
That too. A lot of
you think it was the lighting?
a lot
Are
of
you
the
kidding me? I want to take that whole sequence and then I want to dub it over and edit it so that Rue is all 5 of the Greek muses from the opening of Hercules.
Okay. I mean,
But I won't. So
yeah.
like,
I mean, we're gonna get to that. We will vote as we always do on all the looks, so we will see what the people say. But going from the comments, it's not looking good for Rue.
there was a headband.
the headband. Yeah, there was a headband because she was like.
It looked like a hair headband kind of thing. It kind of blended into the wig, but it was a band.
Yeah.
It was a band.
Yeah, we have a ruling that we do have a band.
Yeah, the hair was an interesting shape. There was a lot of shapes happening on the inside.
And maybe that was why, because like everything was long and flowy, and then the hair was so tight and like helmety.
It was like
You know what? I honestly think that the hair is fine, the dress is fine. Together might be why I have the issue.
We'll pull the photo up when we do the Tudor boot. It's in there, so.
Ronald McDonald is the closest comparison we're getting right now from Steph Hodges. That is giving me life. Okay, so we have Rue's look. Then they introduce some judges, and James Demir says, "I felt we're back to Rue's look. People want to talk about it." Okay.
You want me to pull it up?
James says, we'll leave it. We'll get it to it. James said
about it again
for 1960s B alien movie.
Yep, I can see that.
Can we expel anxiety? Was Jeff like the worst judge ever? Factually wrong. Jeff was like the best judge ever. Like if we're redoing the judging panel, I want Rue, I want Ross Matthews, I want Leslie Jones, and I want Jeff.
I would fully agree with that. The household drag consensus was that Jeff should be a permanent seat on the judges panel.
Yeah, I'm seeing lots of comments defending Jeff. I think he was.
I thought the dry, nonchalant humor to be exactly what is missing in Drag Race.
Yes.
Also, I guess we'll get to it at the end. His emotional response to like the final lip sync kind of got me a little. I was like, wow, a lot of feelings.
Oh, it was very good. It was very good. Mac is also giving some love for Rachel Bloom. She was fine. She was good. I thought that she was.
I love her.
She moved along, and I thought that was. She did a very professional job. Like Goldblum's job was just to react and be Jeff. But she was the what? Yes, exactly what Mac said. She made the debate. She was.
Oh my god.
That held, because that was a 9-ring circus out there. Goldblum counts 20.
Are we moving on to the debate then? Is that where we're at?
We're doing the debate. Choices 2020.
Oh my god.
So many choices were made.
So many choices were made.
Choices weren't made. People were just like.
I know anxiety is hating the debate. I felt like the funniest part of the debate was Jeff Goldblum.
I would agree to that.
Yeah.
Steph and Heidi.
Yeah, Heidi had her moments. I was surprised that they loved Jada as much as they did. I thought she started strong. And then when she was like just throwing answers and hey, look over there, the first time it was okay, but I felt like Jada started strong and then she probably like I felt like she ran out of material is what it struck me as.
Ran out of material or then realized that the distraction and confusion thing went so well together and ran with it too hard.
Possibly.
Like another way that she could have done it is like on the second go look over there, then like instantly like come be like now look back to here and then talk about something completely different to like build upon it to make it like funnier as it goes along as opposed to the same note. Like take the note and then go up the octave.
Yeah. Which is interesting because the note that they give Jackie is she hits the same thing too much, and
which is what she did in the debate again.
And the weird thing is that everyone's like, oh, Jackie's the political girl.
She's like, no, I'm
the Canadian girl is what she hit. She just kept hitting Canada, and the thing about America, which like was, I got 5 letters for you, girl. JOAKS. Where are the jokes?
I think she thought that the joke was that she kept like mistaking it. It would have been funnier taken another way if she had been like from like where is she from? Persia, right? Oh. If she had been like a Persian trying to like go under the radar to become president, then it might have been funnier. Or like if she was trying to like change the states because she was Canadian, it would have been funnier. But it was just
or even just do like a Queen of the North, like you could do it as a lens. You could have made fun of healthcare. You could have made fun of gun control. And the thing that struck me the most was that there were no platforms. There was zero actual political content. Like they didn't even, like I get it. They're drag queens. They're dumb as bricks. But fuck a duck.
Do you have to give us away like that so harshly?
What?
On the air? We're
going to find out. Taylor might be wearing out the beeper right now, so maybe we'll try to keep it in check. Anthony does have a good point. It's not Persia. It's Iran. She's Iranian.
Iran.
Stephanie Hodges weighs in and says, I found it funny that both Sherry and Gigi reverted to their Snatch Game characters, but they were only called It makes you wonder. I agreed. I thought that Gigi's choice to go back to the robot was terrible. This is actually the second callback. She tried to robot earlier as well. I forget which episode. But this is technically her third robotical, and I found it too many. It was novel the first time, and now it's just like, oh, you don't know what to do. You're running out of ideas.
Was she not just playing Sharon Needles from season 4? Because that's this Sharon Needles, Sharon Responsibility. The way that Sharon presented herself at the podium is the exact same way that Gigi presented herself.
Interesting.
I would have to rewatch to give a.
That's all I could see in it. And I was like, because like you think about it, like everyone said, make it funny, make it funny, make it funny. Widow did none of that.
Oh, Widow fell flat. Now I got to point on Widow, but Anne does say, okay, T, but Ru told her in the workroom to do what you know. So.
That is a fair point, for sure.
And when they are either told to change who they are or do who they are, they never do good. It's when they surprise the judges with something that they aren't that they actually get to be at the top.
Except for Heidi.
Or if you wrap yourself in your culture. If you cry about your
we'll get to that. We'll get to
your backstory, or you do something that is like very
that, James.
Yeah, very that. Like they do really like it when it strikes that tone. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Well, yeah, we can keep going. I think we got to go to Widow here. I liked Widow's performance. It wasn't particularly funny, but it was a good caricature of what is happening in politics today. And I also kind of felt like, I don't know, do you think they would have given the same edit to an angry white queen?
No.
No? You don't think so? I was kind of like, I was curious about it if we felt that there was like a tone policing of an angry black woman.
I don't think it was tone policing. I think it was totally antagonizing.
I think Drag Race likes...
Sorry, no, I think the judging of it was tone policing.
Oh, like they're like, be the angry black person. Be the angry black person.
And then they were like,
don't be the angry black person. You shouldn't have been the angry black person.
That was what I wondered. I was interested if other people had that thought.
I think they do like the portrayal of an angry black woman character, which you could really see with the vixen. I think they definitely amp it up a little bit. They give it a different sort of viewpoint, I guess. They like that angle.
Fast forward though, the two that had racial issues were the two that were in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
I did notice that as well, and I was trying, like, when I was watching them both, like, up for elimination, I was like, which one is more questionable for them to send home after discussing such?
Well, the black woman sending the black woman home is okay.
Hmm.
For them both playing the race card.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm not allowed to talk about this because I'm white, but I'm going to talk about it because, like, it's obvious they both played the race card within the episode, and they both ended up in the bottom.
I mean, I don't know if I would call it playing the race card. They do invoke race as a concept, which is very deeply political right now and hotly debated. So I thought that
Just
the way they. Okay, sure.
Right, like, I'm not saying it in a negative context, like, oh, they're playing it to get ahead. That's the card in their hand that they have. It's a strong one, and they're going to play it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was a tough one to look at the way that they did it.
I don't know how to like
not tough to look at, but I'm saying that it's a tough issue to discuss in what we're doing through drag. I think that ultimately the conversation that we're having is the point of it.
Yeah, totally.
That it's bringing, it is very important to bring conversations of race into these spaces, into queer spaces, into, popular spaces, and to have these conversations is good, and say like, yeah, like this is totally valid. This is totally like, yeah.
Well, I have there's 2 points that I made on this exact point. And one is like, first of all, imagine being American and having to deal with the political climate they have down there right now. Like with Donald Trump and it being so like two extremes. And then also think about people like, I'm sitting in my beautiful house with my husband and my dog and my cat with a great career and a great life. And there are people out there that can't be themselves in their own country without fear of like persecution or death.
Yeah.
Right. And like that emotional side of it all is what made the fact that it was like brought up more poignant to me. Because again, this is the conversation we're ending up in because of it.
Yeah. It's
just that's one thing that like really got to me. I couldn't imagine living somewhere that I couldn't be me. I couldn't do this.
And I think this is the point, right? James brings this up in the comments. It says that queer POC folk, I think, do not get space to examine their cultural backgrounds in a lot of contexts. So drag is really important to give that space. And its representation in dual contexts. And it brings up the idea of intersectionality, right? Where race and queerness exist, and there is a connection point, and we're seeing it tonight. And ultimately, I think that it is absolutely wonderful that they did it. I think that it's great. I think that we'll get to the runway look. There are runway looks that, we'll say, oh, I wish it was more rhinestone, or I wish it was more this or that. And there's rhinestone, and then there's looks where I don't care. I just don't care. It's an event. It is a moment. And it's just beyond like, oh, was it cute? And I think we saw that tonight, and that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I like an outfit that punches you in the face with like meaning, like actual meaning.
And that is the power of drag, is because I feel like drag from its core is about it's about breaking barriers. It's about crossing lines. And I find that as a drag queen, and particularly as a trans femme drag queen, my presence kind of breaks a barrier just by my appearance and being this extra. And I find that there's so many people that relate to you in ways, and they approach you in this like magical land where none of their regular lives boundaries matter, because they're like, well, you're a drag queen. It's anything can happen. And they kind of explore new things in spaces. And I think that, Ru's show has its problems, and we've documented those on past episodes, and we'll continue to, because we need to hold her accountable for those things. But tonight, tonight was a good night. Tonight was a good night for the show and what drag can do.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
No, drag is political, and that's something that I'm glad that they are talking about it, even if they're not. Drag Race doesn't always show the political side as much, and even in this political themed episode, I feel like it was, like, as we've said, missing a huge political sort of narrative or storyline within it, but it's, or more political jokes, I guess. But it's important that it's there and it's good.
It was surprising to me that they could have a quote-unquote presidential debate and not mention Trump or Mitch McConnell or any of it, right? Like, I was kind of so for me, the saving grace was, okay, if you're not actually going to be political, if your only message is go vote, which is valid, I was happy that it did something more with that. Yeah, okay. Let's move along to the judging. We get in there. We've got we've got runway looks. Let's do runway looks.
Yes. Do we want to toot and boot them right now?
Yeah, let's toot and boot. While you're bringing that up, I was just going to offer a couple final thoughts here on the debate. I was curious what everyone thought. I found it messy. It wasn't very good. They didn't really, a lot of the jokes really kind of were just base react ones. I haven't really ever liked the presidential debate ones. I found they always fell flat. Farrah, what do you think?
I kind of digged it. I wish that they had been more extreme. I think one of the biggest ones, like Chad Michaels, was the best at the presidential debate.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted, and they hinted at that right at the beginning. Like, no drag topic is off the table, but then everyone was like kind of political about it. But I thought it was messy. The editing was a little dodgy. We didn't need to see Gigi walk when she walked so boringly. Like,
if you're gonna go, if your joke that you wrote is sissy that walk, and that was what you said, what she do, like, this is my walk, and it's just like a cute runway walk. I was like, you fundamentally misunderstood what that term means.
100%.
The bell bottoms were cool. They were fierce. I enjoyed it. The flow was great.
But it wasn't can you wear a garment, it was can you sissy that walk. And that's like the time to be, you should be voguing and whacking your little butt off.
Yep.
We have a debate going in the chat between pro Jackie and anti Jackie fashions. Did we find Jackie funny?
This whole episode fell flat for me, and I'm glad that other people are feeling.
The episode did fall flat. Like,
yeah,
they had a great idea, and then, like, I don't know if it was editing or if, like, they really, like, is this another Shakespeare and they, like, just made their best to.
I think the issue is that they didn't have any meat. They had reactions and they had queens being charismatic, which is great. But the problem is that they don't know politics. And so it's like, make political jokes and you don't know politics. This is what you're going to get. It's going to be political.
They needed a cheat sheet. Someone should have handed someone a cheat sheet.
Or just, yeah, like, what do you think about this? Like, I think maybe that was a bit of a failure of the judges. They could have led them a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
People are saying that Jackie's a great queen, but she had no jokes.
Which is,
she started well, but she needed to, like, I think that Jeff Goldblum's critique of her was right. She started out, she had a good plan, she got some traction, people were like, oh, okay, ha, but she didn't go anywhere with it. She needed another gear to switch into. So I liked, did she do spectacularly worse? No. But nobody stood out as the clear, oh my God.
Oh no, they all stood out like, why did you do that?
Yeah. Should we grade some looks?
Yes, can you see my screen?
I can see the screen, I can see the looks. Okay, we are rating RuPaul's look. I'm giving this a 100% boot.
Absolutely booting.
If some other girl had walked down in that simple of a gown, they would have read her to filth.
But she's RuPaul.
It looks like someone tried to make an outfit for the first time and it went well, but they made it themselves and it was their first attempt.
Anne says it's from Claire's.
And I didn't realize that until now, and it is not good. Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, that headband is wild. I guess my brain didn't register it as an object during the episode, but
It's floating.
yeah, I've been staring at that, trying to figure out if that makes her head look bigger and adds that giant illusion. And
Jordy says, I feel like she was creating an old look, but it failed, which we know Rue does do. She has every dress she's ever worn in storage, so maybe there's the possibility that this was a classic look she wore and brought it back. The headband is coming out of her. I wonder if that's keeping the wig on. Like,
Oh no, that wig is so snatched.
I'm just saying. It's, yeah.
Just,
hold her
But
brain
that's
in.
it. The hair is fine if it's on its own. I just really don't like it as a part of the dress. One
The
or the
hair
other could have been fine.
the hair would also look way better if they changed the color of the background, like just set the off tone a little less red, made it a little more pink so that her red hair could pop.
It did clash for me.
Yeah, the art background is tricky.
Can we bring up Crystal?
Someone said toot on this look. I'll find out later and we'll go bully them. But
Just kidding. We love it. We want debate. We want chat.
we love an open opinion.
It was Mac, I think. Mac said.
I gave it a soft 2.
Okay.
Soft.
Okay,
Oh,
we should be looking at Crystal here, please.
I know. I went the wrong direction. That was my bad.
Sure did.
Here we are.
Here we go. Crystal. 100%. Boo.
Shoot.
I hated it.
Shoot.
I like it.
I would wear the hell out of this outfit.
It's messy, but I enjoy it.
Too many patterns, too busy. I felt like there was a lot of pieces here that could work, but it just needed an edit.
Okay, I would agree with an edit, but I'm enjoying it. I like the little.
You put this outfit on Raja, they would have eaten it up and she would have won everything.
Raja would have put the skirt shorter and tighter.
I'm not
What kind of
debating that.
shirt is this?
Yeah.
I bet the pattern of the shirt is a little much with the
The stars and like we've got multiple tones. And I'm sorry, I hate that wig so much.
not.
The length does nothing for her. There isn't styling to critique. Woof.
Yeah, it's a rushed wig.
It was a rush wig. The wig could have used a little bit more zhuzhing, but like I still think the outfit is chic as fuck.
Y'all can come for me. You can't cancel me. All right. Let's move on to Heidi in closets, please. Love. Toot the house down, the boot. The house Toot
down.
it 100%. And what I would like to say is please add a baton and become Chi-Chi, because I just saw her with like a baton. I just feel like this is like a Chi-Chi style. I love it.
This wig, that pleat.
Yeah.
Earrings.
Her styling is much, much better. Her makeup is not offensive.
But earrings don't match.
Earrings
That's
don't
true.
match.
They are a soft blue and not a royal blue.
I'm going to let that slide.
I will too.
The dress and the hair is cute AF. It absolutely is. It's wonderful. Her legs look great. She looks great. It's one of the best looks that she's done. She is headed in the right direction, shall we say. Heidi is growing in confidence and styling.
She's running out of that closet.
Yeah.
She's found the best pieces.
She's got some depth in that closet.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to the Widow Von Du. What do we think?
I really like this one. This was a toot for sure.
I was on the fence, and I started as a soft toot, and after the performance, I have to shift to a boot because
Looks cheap AF.
the stars look really cheap, and they're an afterthought. She just went on 3 stars with like a handful of rhinestones. They weren't even dense. It was so floppy. I love the dress. The dress looks really good on her. The stars don't match. They're silver and white and black.
I will give her though, that wig and that beat with that glitter in it,
so good.
the continuity of the glitter density in the hair to her brow to her fucking eyeshadow was mint.
I need a wheelchair.
Everything else.
Seemed crafty to me, and that's exactly what I wrote. I said, feels like artsy and crafty. Toot to the extreme, except for the janky back from Anxiety. Anne is fired up tonight. I love it. James says, I like it from far away, but not close up. Totally hear that read. Also, what bothers me is if you look at it, You can see that the top shoulder, the stripe and the star go together. The more you know. The one on her other side, the one side that has the star under the armpit, which I thought was an awkward placing, has the stripe going to the star. But then the other star is just hanging out
sideways almost
on her thigh. And it's like, you know, like it just, if you were trying to do that aesthetic, like if she just moved that star, which clearly was just tacked on so she could tear it off.
Yeah.
But the beat was
90-degree rotation. It'll be a little.
Righty. Get your votes in. Let's go on to Jackie Cox.
Party.
That has to be a 2.
Shoot.
No, absolutely. I think the lighting did it a disservice. Like you can see in angles that it does have like really wonderful sparkles in the stripes.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. It fits her beautifully as well. Like with the movement of it was fabulous.
Oh my God, it's stunning. It's a 2. Shoot.
I am tooting. I have a critique.
Yeah.
I wish it was on someone else. I hate the way she walks the runway. She does the same goddamn look every single time. And then she just skirts. She just, huh? And she's gone. And I'm like,
this one.
I feel like this season, having this girl on there after Brooklyn Heights made that her home. You know, like every time Brooklyn walked around the corner, you were just like, what is she going to do? How is she going to wear the garment? How is she going to act on it? You're goddamn right. You knew I was going to do it, Jordan, because it happens every single time and no one clocks that, like, she does not know how to walk a runway at all.
It's true.
She looks terrified, like she wants to run away. And it's like,
maybe she is. Maybe because Brooklyn made like pissed all over that stage, she's too busy running past the puddles to.
Hey, they got that city litter sponsor. There's no excuse for puddles.
I 100% go with Nada. Makeup is a boot. Toot the look. James Demirs adds that the outfit moved beautifully in the lip sync, and that is true. That there was more blue in it somehow. I'm not sure if that was the headpiece coming into the back or if there was actually blue underneath it, but it did move beautifully. And that's why I was so upset with the runway look, or when she walked, because you didn't get any of that. And it's like, if that movement was possible in the gown, you needed to bring that into the runway.
Yeah, definitely.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's just your name, honey. Okay, moving on to the next one.
I love it.
What?
I love
hard boot, like
hard
boot.
Shoots, and this is a look that she goes to a lot. If you follow Gigi on Instagram, she has pirates, she has colonial stuff. She really likes legs out with the kind of bustle coat. And
I can order that from Pleaser.
Militude.
Wow, a lot of people are coming down harsh on her.
Y'all don't like it?
No.
I feel like it's impossible. How do you not like this and like the ice cream cone? You kind of have. This is Gigi.
But that's the thing, is that I'm tired of it.
That's a different question.
Looking back at the ice cream cone, now that I know that she's a one-hit wonder, great. Your mom makes you the same silhouette with a little skirt, and then you make it into a character. And she says she doesn't use rhinestones. That costume was so bland. It was a costume.
Yeah, she could use a few rhinestones. I will agree to that.
Or do it in a sequin fabric, or do it in something with a shimmer. Take it out of its context of the exact same outfit in a showgirl outfit and take it into the exact same concept into a full showgirl fantasy as the outfit.
You know what? You convinced me. I've changed my vote to a boot. I absolutely agree with it. And
yeah.
And Mac brought up a point that I was going to make, and I'm really happy you did.
Yes.
It is so bizarre that you literally had someone who is proudly breaking a race barrier and making a political point about that, right next to someone who's like, colonialism, cute, right? And it's like,
that gives it it's a boot for the concept.
Yeah, it's like colonialism cosplay. It's adorable. We had slaves.
She's just going back to her roots. She white.
I guess. If we're going to judge one look by its political character, we kind of have to judge this one too.
That's tea, Karla. That's the strongest tea that's been served.
Okay, Oh, I think I've redeemed myself for which look I got mad. Everyone got mad at me for one look. They were like, I was canceled. Jada, I'm giving this a massive toot. You can fight me for days. I love it. Her
It's a
leg,
shoot, hands down.
the boot cover leg look. It's just her leg looked like miles long, and she's not.
95. That fucking landing strip. Every single inch of that is rhinestone. Put that next to Gigi's on a runway. Which one is your eye gonna go to?
Yeah,
that is yes. Yeah, no, this is amazing. I love
Is it fair enough, Vanta?
Yes. Welcome to the party.
not everyone liked the shoulder pieces. I feel like they may have gotten bent. I'm willing to give her some leeway on that, because if we're gonna critique her on those, then those floppy pieces of crap on Widow, like those things were in her arm, like they were bouncing and flapping. It was terrible. Anyways,
They were foam. They were fun foam. This is like crafted material, hand rhinestoned and sequined. Like,
yeah.
In the bottom middle photo, her arms do disappear a little bit, which is just an issue with the background lighting. But it's like her arms are kind of.
Her hands are like out like that. I see them now. And you know what? I didn't even care.
I don't care either. I just thought it was funny.
I was just looking at the legs because that's kind of what she wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to submit my ballot. And can we get results? Everyone, please submit.
Yes, my apologies.
I will say though that like Sherry's outfit was bomb, and I'm really happy she wasn't wearing amp today.
It was a cool. I did like her.
I want to see it on Ginger Minch.
Strong tea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you just send that to Ginger Minch so Ginger Minch can do photos in it? And like every single time, because like we did a lot of jewels for her for the show, so every time she turns the corner and she has something on, I'm like.
I would also like to see Bob the drag queen wear it.
Ooh, yeah. Bob is the boss in that.
Bob and like those spikes, little punky. I love when Bob goes that way. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah. All right. Has everyone submitted their answers?
Please submit your answers. If you have not, we will see where we all lie, which I love. I love seeing if like people agree with me or not. It's just kind of fun. Nobody cares. It's a silly show about silly things. Most of the time, except for race.
Feature. We thought that would be novel to include.
Well, the reason why we rarely brought up the poll feature, which that Vanta obviously knows as well, is because this is a chat show. We love making this as audience interactive as we can. We are super happy how much people get passionate about it and engage with us. We love our fans so much, and it's the reason why we love doing this show. And if you think of a fun, cool way for us to be even more audience interactive, we love it. And that's one of the reasons why we try to read out the comments and get our guests and our hosts to react to what you say, because this is a really fun chat show, and it's kind of a different take on what GLOC is, that we usually did live shows, and we are really enjoying kind of building this community more aspect and having it be a group critique and chat.
I like it.
Group critique and chat.
Like art class in the mornings, you know?
Art class in the morning, but at night time.
You tell you're a professor.
Yeah, that's fair. I outed myself there. God damn it.
It's fine. It's one of the things I appreciate and love about you.
That I'm gross?
No, that you're so well, like, precise and planned.
Oh, thank you.
I don't think I've ever met anyone that, like, is so precise and planned. And not mean, like, in, like, a weird way where you're like, oh, here comes Karla, like, that I'm on schedule. But I just mean that, like, you are like, okay, so I'm gonna do this and this and this and this and this, and you do it. And that's why, like, earlier when we were talking, I said, oh, to have your life, like,
yeah,
working on it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm always trying to hold space for when things don't go according to plan. I'm just saying sometimes that's live theater.
And that's price. That's what I'm talking about, is that, like, you're prepared.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Can we see the poll results? Let's see. Get those votes in. Let's go. Vantarini. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
I had to share them. My bad.
No, that's fine. RuPaul. I am sorry, girl. This is the first boot of the season for RuPaul since we started the polls.
Two people said toot.
Yeah, there was a couple people who
I tooted Ru.
Okay. Yeah, there was some, and Mac And Mac was your compadre, so there you go. Crystal mullet. Well played. Crystal mullet.
To the beat of the rhythm of the night, dancing till morning light.
You should have done more with that mullet.
So over it.
Hopping back.
She gets the 2 on Crystal.
Yeah.
I was not alone with the boots.
Yeah, 3 people.
Yeah, I was one. I will say it. The wig just killed me. Hiding closet, strong toot, and would have to agree. Great night for Heidi. Not unanimous, but most people loved it.
Widow, half.
Widow, right down the middle.
Nice.
I don't know how she got 53% and 53%. That is some gay logic right there. I really want to do both, so we gave her 106% voting record. That sounds like the Republicans of the 1920s.
Yeah,
math is hard.
Yes, math is really hard, honey.
Yeah, you'd think for a coded system they would have some.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if somebody voted twice somehow and like got confused, but I love it. It's probably 50-50. Jackie Fox is 93% toot. So there you go. I agree with that.
We'll hope that is an error.
Gigi Good got 33 and 73.
Also 106%.
Also 106%.
Oh.
We're trying. It's trying. You're doing good, Zoom. Zoom and math. Okay.
I'll send a chat request later to their support team being like, hello, where's the math?
Is math hard?
Where is the math?
Where is the math?
On my next show, it's just me trying to do math again.
Yeah. Drag queens doing long division.
That's a show I want real bad.
And Jada Essence Hall comes in with an 8-2 strong toot, which I agree with. Okay, so let's bring it in to the judges. So we've seen the performances, we've seen the runways. Any thoughts about the judging of tonight? What do we think about how the hosts and everything handled this?
I really enjoy the way Jeff Goldblum asked questions, and I'm glad they showed him asking questions where like other places would be, or other times or within a different person they'd be like, why would you ask that in this spot? But he's like very intrigued and fascinated by the drag culture.
He's awesome.
And then he just starts crying.
Have you seen his show on Disney, on National Geographic?
Which one?
Have you seen his show on National Geographic?
No.
He literally walks around the world and reacts to things. This is how he is all the time. He is an incredibly curious individual. And so National Geographic, it's on Disney Plus, just gave him a show where it's just like Jeff Goldblum walks around the world and they're like, hey, Jeff, you're going to go discover this today. He's like, what is this? And that's just how he approaches the world. It's really pure.
Maybe I will get Disney Plus now. That's the one service I think the only one I don't have access to right now.
I imagine having that much
wonder.
Yeah, like zero skepticism, I think is the best way to put it. Nothing makes that man skeptical. He's just like takes everything at like face value 100% all the time.
I think initially he really does. It seems to be a genuine reaction. Like I've watched a lot of videos of the guy. I've been a huge Jeff Goldblum fan for years. And it does track. Like it seems to be that's like he's not an idiot, and if somebody shows him otherwise, he seems to be critical and a very intelligent man. Jada thought that he actually was a dinosaur doctor, which
I love that.
I loved it. I loved that.
I also love that Widow called him uneducated.
That was rough. That was a rough choice for her.
James chimes in. He was moved by the spirit of Katy Perry and drag, and he saw past his heterosexuality and it broke him. I think so, and I honestly think that we see this so much. We're in season 12, season 16 of 17 of RuPaul's Drag Racing. We're a little numb to these girls up there fighting for their lives and their opportunities, and I think that he was just like, yeah, wow, look at these people, like everything is on the line there.
It
And-
really.
Oh, you just struck like a huge nerve. You're so right. Okay, so like dying to be on the show, imagining that moment, and then like
you're
sitting on it after being like, so Farrah didn't really give her all, and like at that moment in time, I'm like dead inside, giving everything and every ounce that I have at that exact moment, and then getting off a show and hearing people like, oh, I'm an asshole.
Yeah. I made a joke after Widow was eliminated. She was like, and she's like, I didn't want to disappoint anyone. And I made it like that's just a stupid joke. And I could see she was upset, but I was just being a bitch. And Kayla called me out and she's like, don't. Like, she's having a moment. And then it really kind of dawned on me. I was like, yeah, she is. Like, I feel like Widow at that lip sync.
It was a rough one.
No, I think it was kind of exhaustion, you know?
Yeah.
That the reason why Widow is such a great lip syncer and why she sent so many girls home, not that she was trying to, but you know, that's the job, was because she could connect to the music. Last week, why was she safe? Because she just felt the song and she did it every time. And I think by this week, she was just like, I'm down here again. What am I getting? Like she kind of cracked. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, she cracked, she goes home. It's a pressure cooker, and every girl who's been on there is like, you don't understand. They take you away from your support network, and I think that, you know,
not only they take away your support network, but like episodes 6, 7, and 8 are usually the ones that have the most like emotional breakdowns in them, because like at this point they're 2 weeks into filming with 1 day off.
Oh.
Right? So like not like we're watching it week by week being like, oh, she's such an emotional bitch all of a sudden. But then we always forget that like they've been there for 2 weeks and have worked 13 of those 14 days in that workroom from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. So an hour lunch where they're not allowed to talk to each other or talk to anyone. Like they're literally at this point in the game, it is full on preying on their emotions and all of that. And that's why when you look, like you see Heidi coming out of her shell, she's so excited, so Rue goes up with Raven and like praises it. She sees the slightest crack in someone else and she's like, well, that's a bad choice, why would you do that, what's wrong with you, I don't understand what you're doing. And she starts to attack it, to chisel away at that crack, hoping that queen will either burst and like come out of the ashes like a phoenix, or bomb and make good TV.
Yeah, I think
yeah, I 100% agree with that.
I think I'm terrible on Drag Race. I don't want to be on Drag Race. I think mostly for that sort of concept of just the anxious stress that happens. I would not, like, we've seen me on a stage or even just in this, like I would not do well in any way. And I think it would just, any mental health that's been like overcome, we're back at like 0.
I think you are more resilient than you know.
Agreed.
And I think that you could, you know, I think it might be really hard, but when you were eliminated 6th, I think that you would be fighting the whole way.
Thank you so much. I think I would get, so I appreciate it.
I'll be at home waiting for you eliminated first, because I'll totally go, I cracked the code, say hello to my little friends. Brr, brr, brr.
Like, whooshy. Oh, God.
Fair enough, and I've cracked the Drag Race code.
I know the code.
Goes home first.
Okay, so Sherry safe, fine. Heidi safe, yeah. Jada winner. What do we think? In a week of like, I don't think anybody was clear cut. I think 3 or 4 of them could have won. So okay.
Heidi should have won.
Oh wow. Okay.
I actually thought Heidi might win. Just like after she won last week, in the way that dynamic.
This is Jada's 2nd or 3rd win.
2nd?
She definitely has won before. I feel like people are saying 2nd. Okay.
I think it's her 2nd, but yeah, I did think that Heidi was gonna win just the way it went last week. I thought that
I
was
disagree, Steph. Heidi would not, or Crystal would not have won this week. She wasn't there. Heidi was there and in it the whole time, and that was in her critique, that she was like reacting. She would like, someone made a shady comment about her. I cackled, threw my head back, and she went and had that huge long gasp. She was in it to win it. It was Heidi's.
Mm-hmm. We have people in the comments saying Crystal was also laughing, Heidi or Crystal. We have other people saying that they were the top 2. I would say charitably that Heidi, Crystal, and Jada were my top 3, and I'm happy that Jada won, but I would not have had an issue with the other 2. I think it was pretty close. I think that ultimately, like, there were strengths and weaknesses to all 3 of their debates, but I would say that Jada had the best runway. And usually I say that runways can't win you a week, but they sure will lose you one. And I think this might have been one of the rare moments where the runway might have put her ahead. And maybe that winking with Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah. Aww.
Which was so awesome. I loved it. Okay. And then Jeff Goldblum tears up in the end when Jackie wins the when Jackie wins the lip syncs. And I said, Jeff Goldblum is too sweet for this life.
No, we don't deserve him.
Oh, no. We like fully rewound. I had missed one of his emotional responses, and we had to rewind a little bit and rewatch it. It was like, which I've never done for Drag Race unless I like have to leave the room and forget to pause.
Yeah.
Also, I think I said this one of the other weeks, but this season, it could be just like myself or the fact that I'm actually sitting and watching it for the first time in a long time. I don't usually find Drag Race overly like, oh, it's going to make me cry or emotional in any way. Like, I laughed at poor Jan crying, but it's been like making me like tear up at like every other episode. There is a story that is shared. I'm just like, I have a feeling, frankly, that could just be a me thing. But
I have a question then that brings this up. We critique the heavy-handed edits a lot.
Yes.
But is this possibly a product of that same procedure? Sometimes it chafes, but if you watch it closely, is the editing actually making us care? Like, they're serving up these plot lines and these narratives and these visions, and they're amping up the intensity. It does seem like, from what girls who've been on the show have said, that they're not going to make something appear that isn't there, but it's amped up. And maybe our reaction to it, I find it to be a great season. I care about these girls. I'm invested in a way that I wasn't as invested in 11.
I fully agree. Like,
so
maybe
while we don't like all parts of the editing, maybe it also does create intensity that we enjoy.
Are we leaning towards more of a heartfelt season versus a talent season?
Oh, that's a very interesting point.
That is interesting, because I felt coming into the season that it was serving up a lot of talented girls.
Right? And the talented ones have gone home first.
Well, I mean, Jada and Gigi are pretty goddamn talented, like, in terms of, like, the professional, you know.
But, like, Jan is a cookie-cut winner.
Oh, I have to agree with 80% sexy Stephanie Hodges. Justice for Rockham. Yes, we are missing
Rockham. Like, if you follow Rockham outside, like, Rockham is 100% the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, their Twitter.
We got some people defending Jan. We have someone's iPhone defending Jan.
I understand that I don't have the popular opinion on Jan. Initially, before everything started, I thought that she would be like a top 3 for sure.
Oh my God, I was in New York the day that they left for filming. And I went to, oh God, it was Thursday night. I don't remember where we went. It was wherever her show is on Thursday. And it's the 3 of them, the 3 that were on the show. And like, the bar was packed, and I was there with my girlfriend, Ava Patron, and she goes, you know I get so busy, right? And I was like, no. And she's like, they left for filming today, and everyone's here to see who's not in the show. And when that show started and Jan was not there, I have never heard a bar erupt so hard, because everyone thought that it was going to be Laguna Blue.
Oh.
And it was Jan. And like, everyone at the bar was like, shook the house down, the boots the house down. And then we went to another bar, and they were talking about how Sherry wasn't there for her gig.
Huh.
And it was like, so first of all, that New York community is huge and massive. You can hit 12 bars in one night and see 12 different people that are all going to say the same thing about a specific drag queen. They know their queens. So when it comes to like Britta being like the New York queen, there's one above her, but like Britta's still freaking popular.
Yeah. Which is the one above her?
Oh my God, I can't remember her name. I went to her show at the end of the night. It was her birthday. I can look it up on my archives and let you know.
Please do, actually.
She's like,
yeah, that'd be cool.
She's phenomenal.
One final comment from the it's from the comments. Dahlia Sin's name is going in my notes because I'm gonna jump. She was in this episode twice, and she's gotten 80 million times more screen time than she should. James Demers echoes this by saying, "Yep, why the broccoli? I don't know."
Because they're trying to push another narrative.
They're trying to force a Vanjie on us.
When though? When was she in it?
She was rated on at the end with Michelle.
Twice with Michelle. When Michelle was first there, she popped in the back, and then at the end, she had the hi mom sign behind Michelle.
Okay, yeah. I was full on doing my makeup during the episode, so I was watching.
We know that they're cutting things out. Could they please cut out Dahlia's word? I've had enough. I did not find her relatable, likable in any sense of the word. I found her to be a spoiled brat when she was on the show for 20 minutes too long. So I don't need to see any more broccoli.
No, and she's a transphobic broccoli at that, so we don't need that.
And she's a transphobe. Of course she is.
Right? Which is shocking for being in the House of Aja. But everyone's allowed to change, and I guess changing into a transphobe is a choice. But
changing into a transphobe is a horrible choice, but like learning and being educated is a good choice.
Very good choice.
Farrah?
Yes, BB?
Could I ask you to...
Shaquita Hall.
Our winner. What's that?
Oh, the New York Queen, Shaquita Hall.
Okay.
So we have a fabulous prize pack to give away. Our lovely friends at Bar Patricia and Infinity Ultra Lounge, Chi-Chi and Alan are over there working their way, trying to keep that business afloat. So we are trying to support them in their time of need. And so they have generously given us a prize pack to give away. You will get one free menu item plus 20% off your bill. Plus they serve booze. So, Farrah.
I'm just doing a quick scroll.
Who would you like to give it to?
I think I want to give it to, oh my God, I just lost their name. This is what happens when I wear contacts that don't have my prescription in them. I want to give it to whoever Laura's iPhone is.
Laura's iPhone?
And it basically is because of, Rockham, Jan.
You won! Laura's iPhone, hello, congratulations, you have won the prize tonight from Bar Patricia and Infinity Ultra Lounge. Is the upstairs and downstairs. So again, you get one menu item for free. Choose wisely. I do suggest the poutine, although their prosciutto sandwich is also very delicious. And so what you need to do, Laura, is if you follow me on Instagram, Karla.Marx1917, just send me a message on the gram. Hashtag and just send me a message and I will give you the secret password so you can pick up your prize. Colleagues, friends, comrades, Vanta Blaque, how was this show for you? Any final remarks?
Oh, this was a lovely show, as always. I've been enjoying everyone commenting and joining us and always tuning in. Our viewers went down a little bit towards the end, but we've had the most people in here, I think, since the start, which was super exciting.
Oh, and Bo brings up an excellent question. Where would someone send tips?
I'm in the process of typing it right now.
Oh.
I'm typing it into the little chat, but you can send us send us a little tip through e-transfer or PayPal to sambrownyyc@gmail.com. And if you're doing e-transfer, make the password skunk. This won't let me do auto deposit.
And we split all of our tips 3 ways. So all of the tips will chip all of the dolls, and we really, really appreciate it. It keeps us going. We are getting into the point of this. We are on week 6, and I am actually starting to have to replace drag items. And ouch. So if you do have the financial means to tip us, we really appreciate it. If you are just here to chat and you are tipping us with your love and appreciation and support, that is totally cool. We are always pay what you can, and we always will be. We really appreciate you so much. If you can't afford to tip right now, we completely understand. The world is going cray, and we would much rather have people come and just have fun and hang out with us than feel like, oh, if I can't tip, I shouldn't come.
No.
Get in here. Water's warm. We're happy to have you.
We'll give you a digital hug. That's all.
Thank you, hugs.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Make real hugs for me.
Fair enough, our special guest. Thank you so much for joining us. Any final remarks? Any plugs?
Well, any plugs? Well, there's always plugs. I put my Instagram in the thing. Make sure that you watch the Snatch game that we did on Wednesday. If you haven't yet, it's posted. It's hilarious.
So good.
I want to say thank you to you two for having me. I love seeing, my goal in the city has always been like fully inclusive drag, and like I'm tired of drama and bullshit. I just want to be a woman and enjoy it. I want to sit in front of a mirror, paint my face, stand on a stage, shake my little titties, and like make people happy. And I don't think there's enough of that. So thank you two for like perpetuating that and pushing it and like reaching out and like keeping us active and keeping us working on our craft and our art within all of this trying, I'm going to say it, the worst word that we're all tired of hearing, unprecedented times.
Well, they are.
Yes.
And
Thank you so much for being with us. It's really exciting to have you having your little GLOC debut with us.
yeah, we'll have to do it in person next time. And
Oh, there's tons of plans.
we have loved having you in the show. And if this has done one thing, it has been really cool that this format of GLOC has brought together people from different corners of the drag world in Calgary, and we're all just having some fun together and recognizing that what the things that bring us together, our love of drag, our love of queer culture, the discrimination and bullshit that we all have to deal with, is stronger than the little things that don't matter that tear us apart. And that, you know, it's times like this that make you come together with people, and I think we're really doing that here.
One of my favorite signs that I have a picture of that RuPaul posts at every drag con is drag is not a competition.
It's not. It really isn't. And I agree with you. We've talked about that, and this idea that, you know, people watch RuPaul and it's like, well, you got to be at each other's throats, and it's like, it's not. It's a community. James Demir, yes, it is a community. It is a community. If you are not serving your community as a drag queen, that's what we're here for. We're hood ornaments for a community. We're reasons to get together and do stupid things and just meet other queer people and realize that this community is strong and it is vibrant and it is valid.
Absolutely.
100%.
Okay. Now go to bed, all you queers. We love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. Guess what? We'll be back next week. And we are so excited that we have made our debut on TaylorMade Radio. So this will be online. We will be posting widely when it is up and available. So the nice, cool thing is that now, if, you know, it's always best to come and chat in the group. We love the chat. But if you really can't make it, you'll still be able to catch up whenever you can. So it's really, really exciting. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, sharing, all of this. We love you so much. Steph, love you right back. All right. So thank you so much. We love you. Good night.
Good night.